Hey guys, welcome back to Roseanne's Kitchen Table. Cara, still with me. What's going on?
I'm just enjoying my water in this mug.
Water, and we were faking it and saying it was coffee.
That's what everybody does, and it's always water. And there's something about drinking water out of a mug that's a bit wrong.
It doesn't seem right to you?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it weird? It's a little weird.
That was good. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about, I have you on, and you often talk about atheist stuff. Mm-hmm. You're my science chick and my atheist chick. We actually have a bunch, and I have actually a huge atheist community that watches the show. Mm-hmm. And what I keep saying is, why don't the atheists unite in some kind of political movement? You know what I mean?
Some of them are starting to.
It's starting to happen, but like it's just starting. And it seems to me that the atheists, rational people who believe in science, who believe in empirical evidence, could even look at government in a different way and sort of change things for the better. So I'm waiting for the atheists to sort of unite. So what's up with the atheists?
I think what happens is that they tend to lose the label atheist when they start to go political. When you see lobbying groups and when you see political action committees that are trying to push more atheistic agendas, generally speaking, they're going to call themselves secular groups because they also want to be friendly to religious communities who are for the same things. Atheists don't need legislation that's pro-atheist. What we need is legislation that is really keeping to the true nature of the First Amendment and really separating church and state and not giving Christian privilege to organizations in this country like we have historically done. So a lot of times you will see these groups that are mostly made up of atheists, but they use the secular label because I think politically that's a little bit more important.
Right.
And I really support that. Also, I hate to say it, but the word atheist scares the shit out of people.
It really does.
It bothers me.
Yeah.
I was literally just podcasting this morning with Don Johansson, who is this amazing researcher, paleoanthropologist who actually discovered Lucy.
I just watched the thing.
Australopithecus afarensis, the early hominid. And we were talking about atheism, and we were talking about how when he came out as an atheist to people he had known his whole life, they would be like, he'd be like, somebody maybe you grew up with, like, and I don't believe in God. And they'd be, oh. And all of a sudden he's like, I'm the same person you've known this whole time.
Right.
There is this stigma that's attached to it. Now, my take is own it. Own the label. Call yourself an atheist. Show people that atheists are moral. Show people that regular people are atheists. And let's start to take the stigma away. Other people shy away from the label because they don't want to deal with the negative connotations that come along with it.
So the atheists, this is going to sound kind of silly, but I think I've said this on the show before, the atheists sort of need to come out of the closet here.
They do.
Because even the way you
use
describe
that term a lot, coming out of the closet.
The way you describe that, it sounded like gays. Like you need to be, what Harvey Milk used to say, that the most political thing you could do is just come out, because then you change automatically how your family and your friends, they then see a human, and I see a human, and it's not that bad.
And the truth is, in some respects, we have so much more progress to make, but we've made social and political progress in the LGBT community, probably mostly in the LG community and B, but the T community we've still got.
It's coming, though.
Yeah,
it's definitely coming.
But we have seen gay and lesbian individuals in office. Atheists in office? Not until they've been there for years are they willing to come out. Nobody's going to run and say out loud that they're an atheist because they won't get elected.
Right. So
that's
the best example of that actually is Barney Frank, who was out as a gay man, as a congressman. I think starting in 1982, he didn't come out as an atheist until he had already resigned.
Yes.
So he decided not to run again.
It's political suicide.
Yeah.
And what does that say about our culture? And what does that say about freedom of religion, or as the Freedom from Religion Foundation calls it? What does it say about how we really do uphold our Constitution, which is supposed to allow equal rights? I mean, it still says one nation under God on our money. And I think that a lot of our political decisions are informed by that somehow we do have a secular society, but there's this underpinning of religiosity that we can't seem to escape. And there's a lot of religious privilege in our laws, and that's really problematic. And I think that that's what we need to be fighting.
Yeah. Do you think that the atheist community sort of needs some new leaders, or some like younger leaders, or something like that? Because I talked a lot about that whole thing with Bill Maher and Ben Affleck and Sam Harris. And it seemed to me there was a real moment, I could feel it online, of like atheists kind of being like, man, we're sick of being shit on and we're sick of being misrepresented. And then I saw atheists being attacked, these new atheists, and people are calling them militant atheists. I'm like, I just don't see it. I don't see atheists harming anyone. I just don't see them oppressing anyone or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I saw everything being flipped on them, and I just kept thinking, wow, why isn't there sort of like,
organized?
why isn't there more of, and I guess maybe that's part of it, that if people are based in rationality and science, it's hard to gin up the crowd, right?
It's partially that, but it's partially because atheists are not monolithic. So, for example, people who are Methodist have a similar ideology, and they bond together, they band together because of that ideology. By definition, atheists lack belief. It's not that we all don't believe in God, it's that it's not that we all believe that there is no God. It's that we all just don't believe in God. We're just lacking belief. So it's like defining a whole bunch of people by a negative and then saying you're similar, band together and join up in a group. A lot of people are actually against the idea of organizing as atheists because they say it's like herding cats. It's like trying to organize as anarchists or something.
That's
it wouldn't
kind of interesting.
work.
So on one hand, while I think it would make some sense politically, there's probably, I think what you're saying is there's probably no reason to think that they would all, not all of course, but that even a majority of atheists would want the same political
There's resistance
things.
within the community. But beyond that, I think that many atheists do understand the need for atheist activism, and they understand the need for being out loud and being proud. But at the same time, you mentioned Harvey Milk. I think that it is important to point out, and I think that you would probably agree with me, although it's the strongest thing you could do politically, to come out and to be open and to wear the banner with pride, I also would never tell somebody what to do with their own personal lives, because there are plenty of people still in this country who live in areas where coming out as an atheist would be unsafe. And I would never say that it's your responsibility to your community to put yourself in danger because of that.
Yeah. Well, I think we can agree on that. Are you an atheist? Are you a believer? Are you half and half? What are you? Let us know in the comments right down below.